Nigerians should now concentrate on demanding for quality leadership and governance from Tinubu. Adelaja speaks. Welcome to the news and thank you for tuning in to listen. Please subscribe to our channel to get notified when we post our juicy news updates. Please click on the notification bell. Adelaja Adeoye, a real estate developer, was a former National Publicity Secretary of the Action Democratic Party, ADC, and currently a chieftain of the People's Democratic Party. In this exclusive interview with Eniobong Iwok, he spoke on the state of the nation and the judgment of the Supreme Court affirming the election of President Bola Tinubu. What is your take on the Supreme Court judgment affirming the election of President Bola Tinubu? He replied, the Supreme Court, as the highest court of the land, has given their judgment affirming President Bola Tinubu as the winner of the 2023 presidential election on the merit of all arguments presented by all parties involved. Atiku Abubakar of the People Democratic Party and Peter Gregory B. of the Labour Party should now join hands to move Nigeria forward. Like I have posited, the court is the last resort for the common man, and court should be able to protect the rights of individuals. But if the ruling falls against you, there is no need to talk bad or incite the public against the court, or continue to make statements that are capable of undermining our nascent democracy. If you run for an election today and you did not win, you can run another time and win, as there will only be one winner per election. As the Supreme Court has ruled, Nigeria should now concentrate on demanding for quality leadership and governance from President Bola Tinubu and all the state governors. They must be held accountable because that was the main reason they were all elected. We want a Nigeria we can all be proud of. They asked, what is your take on the state of the Lagos PDP? The chairman was suspended at some point. He replied, the Lagos PDP has different people with diverse political interests, and what has made the party to remain like this is the fact that it does not have a father figure that can pull everybody together to manage the internal affairs, so that at least majority of the members can move in one direction to lead to electoral victory. I learned that it was some group that purposely suspended the chairman, Philip Ivoji, but a court has recently dismissed the suspension. The truth is, Lagos PDP members need to come together and rebuild the platform for effective outing in the future, so that the entire internal rancor can be managed. Fact is that there is no political party where there is no internal wrangling, as long as interest is involved, but managing those situations is what is needed in our party. They asked, what is the take on the reforms of President Tinubu, removing fuel subsidy amid the high cost of living in the country presently? He replied, the truth is that fuel subsidy removal was long overdue. Nigerians are really not benefiting, but some small group of rent seekers and racketters who are collecting these funds and still diverting the fuel to other countries to make triple gains. But now, all interested investors will import with their funds and sell at competitive prices to Nigerians. The funds allocated for subsidy has now been reappropriated to other sectors of the economy such as agriculture, education, transportation, etc. The truth is, irrespective of our political party affiliation, we must place Nigeria above our sentiments. When we see any policies that will benefit the country in the long run, it should be supported rather than playing politics with them. So I support President Bola Tinubu for removing the subsidy. They asked, there is criticism trading the floating of the naira by President Tinubu considering the current free fall. What is your take? He replied, the free fall of the naira was occasioned by the change in the macroeconomic dynamics, which resulted in the temporary economic situation we found ourselves in. The pressure on FX can be reversed by forward-looking policies of the Central Bank of Nigeria. I believe that the new CBN governor, Yemi Cardoso, and his team, together with those in the Ministry of Finance, will find solution to the free fall soon. It is indeed a bold move to scrap the system of using about $9 billion to defend the naira every 6 months, which this present government inherited. This policy seems like a temporary measure, but it is not effective and it is also draining our reserve. So taking them out will only hurt us for a few time while lasting solutions are provided to make the economy bounce back for the benefit of all Nigerians. They asked, Nigerians have called for reform of INEC. What changes would you like to see in the commission ahead of the future polls? He replied, INEC needs to be reformed as a matter of urgency because we cannot have an electoral umpire whose implementation of their own electoral act is not consistent. INEC will say something today and do something else tomorrow. So the entire process must be reformed to reflect the Electoral Act and the wishing of Nigerian people by delivering free, fair, credible elections to reduce the frequency and number of pre- and post-election litigations. They asked, Nigeria marked 63 years of independence recently. How do you assess the journey so far? He replied, Nigeria is our country. Like other countries have their own peculiar issues, we are still a work in progress, and I believe gradually and steadily Nigeria will emerge stronger and better. We must not lose hope at any point. At 63, as a nation, we must continue to work to elect leaders that will have the fear of God to make things work for all citizens. Jandor recently approached the court. They asked, Jandor recently approached the Court of Appeal to appeal the judgment of the tribunal. What are his chances? He replied, the court will decide. Sometimes it is important not to say anything over a matter that is already in court. They asked, you have remained silent since the general election. There is speculation that you have joined the APC. How true is this? He replied, I am still a member of the People Democratic Party in Lagos and Nigeria. I don't have any relationship or link to the ruling All Progressive Congress. Fact is that I'm not a career politician, but a professional in politics. General election has come and gone, and people like us have other endeavors we are pursuing aside from politics. And we have to put our focus on those things, unlike the typical politicians who play politics all round the 365 days every year. So within this one, they talk, we say, you don't reach time when Nigerians come aside, come demand for leadership from Tinubu. I'm asking, this is something that should be given freely. It's not something that we should even come outside and demand. Why? Because this is even the main reason why we voted him in. Alright, on this note, you've come to the end of the news. We say thank you for tuning in to listen. Until I come your way next time, enjoy the rest of your day.